people, this is your lady Timitres underscore Messi. I'm back again on my channel, my life's journey. um so today I am back. We're going to talk about how God did everything for my life, how I stopped doing all those things. Ogupahla, you say you ogupahla, right? So I stopped doing those things, and yo, people, my people, oh, family, you don't know how amazing God He is. You want to know how amazing God He is? I'm not going to talk about material things. I'm not going to talk about anything or being evangelized or whatsoever, but God did visited me. And He did visited me in that regard. At that particular moment, I was just sitting. I didn't know what to do, what next, and all those kind of things. My life was just a mess. I stopped. I said in the previous video, explained that I stopped doing the whole thing of going to mountains, going to the rivers, going to the ant hills, and all those kind of things that those spirits they require you to do. So then it's like I don't know, you'll be able to, I don't know, gain power or whatever. But literally, family, there was nothing going on except that I was suffering, like suffering emotionally, physically, spiritually. So, and I was drained. Oh, I was drained, so empty to a point that I like I stated in my previous video that I was even suicidal at some sort. I was suicidal, and because I thought there was no help, no way that I can find help anyway. But God being God, oh Jehovah, oh Emmanuel, oh Messiah, He did what He has to do. There was this other day as I was sitting in my room, and that moment, I don't know if I did mention in a previous video that I felt like my spirit was coming out of my body, and it's like I'm like standing up, but then I'm sitting down because there was some force that was coming out. I believe that was my soul coming out of my body that time. I was so scared. I was so scared. I thought that I was dying, because with the myth that says a person could live, could be here and talk to you, only to find out that person has been gone for a long time. So I don't know how. I don't know how that happens, but yeah, in that regard, in that time when those things were happening, I thought it was something that was happening in that way. So then I was scared. I went to this woman that she was actually in that kingdom and asked her if she ever experienced that kind of thing, but she said no. And I continued to sit around until I had a dream. God showed me the scripture. Kana, you must remember, I was not reading my Bible, I was not praying, I was not partying, I was just being me. And then that's when, at night, when I was sleeping, I dreamt of a scripture. The scripture, it says Isaiah 57. No, family, to be honest, I didn't even go through the scripture on the same day or same time or whatever whatsoever. Did I become interested in studying the scripture or reading the scripture? No, I didn't. All I did was just be me, being myself, and saying I'm going with the flow as days goes by, as days comes. That's how I was living, and that's how I was just operating. Whatever that was happening, I said, whatever that crashes. But God, being God, He never wanted me to be out of His light or kingdom or go to hell, because yes, my life was heading me to hell. Eventually my life was heading me to hell, because at that time you must remember that I'm no longer interested in praying. I'm no longer interested even knowing God, because it's like this world is just not favoring me in terms of every situation that I came across, in terms of every experience that I went, the struggle and the suffering and the torture and all that. And I'm like being tortured spiritually, emotionally, physically, in every way that I could. I don't know, nothing that was making sense. Where was I believe that God is still existing? Actually, it was something that I don't know, in between, because there was days that I will sit down and say, God, but if you are God, why are you doing this? Of which sometimes that's when I've realized about, as human beings, as we are human beings, we tend to blame God on our actions that we literally take. We take the actions that when we fail, when we get there, and then they are not the repercussions when they come, we start blaming God. Says, yeah, but God doesn't love us. What did we do for God in that regard? You see how much grace. I just want to talk about grace, like grace, that whenever that moment, at that moment, particular moment, I was not even praying, but grace. Don't take this light. Grace. When God was coming to me and showing me the scripture, that was grace itself, because I was not even praying. Oh, no, nobody either came and evangelized me. No one came to me and talked to me about God. I was always surrounded by people who are believing in cultural things, roots, and bungo. But He Himself came and evangelized me. So do not take grace for granted. Do not ever take grace for granted, because God is able. When He took me out of that pit of hell and held me with His hand and said, this, my child, you're going to walk into this path, I never let His hand go. After I realized that peace I experienced, I never let His hand go. So I never let His hand go, regardless of the challenges. Even after then, I remember I experienced a lot of challenges after I bent everything. I bent everything that was I bent everything that has to do with Ubungoma. I bent them, and I started walking with God. Firstly, I fasted and praying. I needed clarity on everything. During my fasting, I think it was when that I came across. I know the scripture came before fasting, and then I started having that kind of peace, and then it's like I had that kind of assurance. My spirit was becoming on. It's like it's like I'm gaining some strength, spiritually and emotionally, I think, let me say like that, and physically, so much so that I am, the only thing that I was experiencing was when I was um experiencing things in the house. If I put something, or like I would normally put, I like put the bucket of water, that bucket of water will fall on its own and the house will be full of water. The spirits were fighting that time. They were really fighting me. They were really fighting me. There's a lot of things that I encounter during that time of detaching myself from that kingdom. And then I started having the lizard skin from my feet, my hands, my body, and then on my face there was the it was peeling, like when you put something like the mask. When you put the mask, when you remove that mask, you see how the mask come out. So my face was just coming out, that skin thing, it was just coming out like that. I will just do like this in the morning, like this, and then it will just come like that. It was not painful though, but it was so scary because I didn't know how long I'm gonna be living like that. But one thing for sure that I knew for sure was like, I'm not turning back. Back is not where I'm going. Regardless of what, back it's not where I'm going. It's a hell of a place. That is not a nice place that I don't ever wish anybody to go to. Then okay, I will continue to tell my story, and I'll continue to share some of the things as times goes by with my videos. Please, family, please like my videos, share, subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, so then I can grow my life's journey. I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you. This is the story that I'm retelling. The more you're going to subscribe, the more you're going to encourage me to tell you more, because this story might touch someone who is still in the, I know there are a lot of stories, but I am telling my story in my own experience and my journey. So it might touch someone that hasn't been touched by any story. So please, my family, subscribe, like, share, and comment on my video. I love you. God loves you. Bye bye.